Thank you.
Regarding the vote,
No, you're now live, John, okay? Just to let you know.
Sorry, John,
it's a matter of procedure.
okay.
Some people are replying to the vote using reply to all, so they won't be discreet.
Yeah.
Yeah, rather than doing test vote then, you just send your vote through to me directly. I won't share one. Just put in the subject line the vote that you're sending. Or in the email, put position such as chair of planning and then the name.
We'll clarify that when we get to each vote.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, thank you. I consent, John, we'll clarify that when we get to each vote. Okay? Okay, thank you, John. And we're now live?
You are now live.
Yeah. So can I welcome everybody to the annual general meeting of the Ballymaheniog National Park Authority. My name is Aled Edwards, outgoing chair of the authority. During the meeting, members will be agreeing appointments to senior roles and committee membership for the upcoming 12 months to the next AGM. Hwn ydy'r cyfarfod blynyddol arferol, ac mi fydden ni'n dewis ac yn gwneud apwyntiadau yn ystod y cyfarfod yma. This will be my last meeting as chair, and I'd like to take obviously this opportunity to thank you, amazing friends and members, for the time that we've had together. I think it's been 3 years as chair, and we had also the honour of serving Gareth as a deputy for a while. I must say that although times sometimes have been challenging, you have been enormous fun to work with, and it's good to be in your company. And can I say also to the staff, you are just amazing in all the work that you do, and I'm immensely grateful. And I've spent many hours of doing business, but doing business well with a smile in this building and elsewhere. I'd also like to thank the stakeholders that we've been involved with. You are hugely important to us as an authority, and I'd like to thank you all for that. A special thanks obviously to Gareth and to Catherine, the Chief Executive. I will cherish many fond memories of steering the body, and I hope very much that you will forget all my failures. They are many, but I'm sure you can be kind around those things. But just a quick word to say thank you. Diolch yn fawr iawn i chi gyd.
If I can come in, on behalf of the members of the office, I want to thank you for your service. As chair, we will do more formal at the next meeting, because I think obviously AGMs are very a formal process and everything else like that. So hopefully you'll be able to join us at the next NPA meeting where we can have a more formal thank you to you, because obviously your period in national parks, you came in a turbulent area, and your input and wise words have been, for myself, enormous support, and on a personal level, the friendships we've grown over there is good, even though you're a Manchester United fan. All joking aside, I couldn't have thought of anyone better in the period we were to be supporting myself and for me to support someone like yourself. And we look forward to seeing you, obviously, from the backbenches as such, lobbing grenades in, stuff you can do. But no, the skills and expertise you've got there, the wise wisdom, and your, especially around diversity and inclusion, is going to, very important going forward. So thank you very much. It's not on to the next chapter. Seems your book's coming out soon. But obviously, look forward to working with you going forward.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And just to say, some people know that I have had health issues, but this is the time for change. And I am more than comfortable with that change and celebrating the place that we're now moving on to with yourself, Gareth, and with the process that we have in mind now too. Diolch yn fawr iawn i chi gyd. Can I just go through some brief notes that Gemma has prepared for me about the procedures for today. The agenda shows proposed committee membership, a democratic service populated. You've seen the submitted self-nomination forms. The self-nomination process has been completed in line with standing orders, with all members having opportunity to self-nominate to roles and committees. As per Standing Order 7.7, if one nomination is received for a role, then the member candidate shall be appointed to that role by the authority with no ballot necessary. And as per Standing Order 7.9, if more than one nomination is received for any particular role, then the role shall be filled by the member candidate receiving the highest number of votes in favour. Votes shall be cast by secret ballot, where no single member candidate holds the highest number of votes in favour. Then the member candidate with the lowest number of votes shall be removed until one of the member candidates has received the highest number of votes cast. I'm rather scared, but I think I understand it, which I hope we all can. And the other thing that I neglected to do that we want to do as well is to thank Councillor Andrew Davies from Carmarthen for his service. He is standing down, but we do thank Andrew for his involvement with us and his contribution to the park. Diolch yn fawr iawn I Andrew am hynny. Now, one nomination has been received, that of Councillor Gareth Ratcliffe. In line with Standing Order 7.7, members are asked to note the appointment of Councillor Gareth Ratcliffe as the chair of the authority until the next annual general meeting. I trust that we can all agree that by the show of hands. Many, many congratulations, and I'm now delighted to have you.
Thank you, Alan and the previous chair. Thank you all members. I feel like I'm going round in circles and I'm back, but members around this room, again, Alan, thank you for your support over the last 3 years, the work that you've done here. There are some members who've been here with the previous change with local government, and I think obviously your reflection and support has been instrumental in getting the authority into the position we are today. There's still lots of work to do, working with Catherine and officers, but obviously you put us on the right path, and I thank you for that. And I look forward to working with you, as I said previously again. And members, thank you very much. Going forward, I would obviously, as I led, have an open door policy, and looking forward to working with the public as well to move the parks forward. So thank you all. We now move on to agenda item 3, which is the appointment of deputy chair. So, members, as per the scheme of updated scheme of delegations and standing orders, as agreed by members, all members are required to sit on at least one other committee alongside the National Park Committee, and the deputy chair of the authority is to automatically be appointed the chair of finance and performance. So, we've received 2 nominations for deputy chair. Dr. Elizabeth Brickington and Councillor Edwin Roderick. As per standing orders 7.8, prior to any ballot, each member candidate shall be permitted, if they wish to speak, to up to 3 minutes to support their nominations. All members who self-nominated put forward a proposal in wordings. So obviously we'll go now to the members. Edwin, you please your hand.
Yes, thank you, Chair. I've decided to withdraw my nomination from Vice Chair. Thank you. And allow Liz Brickington to go forward.
Okay. Thank you very much. That changes goes to 7.7 standard orders. Liz, are you happy for your name still to go forward?
Yes, certainly. Yes, certainly.
So, as per standard orders, thank you, Edwin, throwing the curveball on my first agenda item. In line with standard order 7.7, you're asked to note the appointment of Dr. Elizabeth Does to bring my name as deputy chair of the authority to the annual general meeting. Liz, did you want to say, because obviously you were able to, or are you happy to go forward and speak after?
Yes, I'll let my name go forward. I have prepared a little speech, but I think you need to move on with the agenda perhaps, okay?
Okay, members, can we have a show of hands? Thank you. Congratulations, Liz.
Thank you.
Are deputy. Thank you. Would you like to say a few words?
Yes, thank you, members, and the support you've given to me in this. It's only been a short time since I've been a member of authority, but I felt it was the right time to put my name forward for this. Bannabl Ceiniog's been so central to me all my life. I grew up just south of the park, through childhood, through youthful adventures. I brought my family up here in the park. Over the past 38 years, I've been very much involved in rural community development, and it both on a national and through the EU and international scale. I've really enjoyed my time with the park to date, and I felt it was time that I brought that experience to this particular forum and actually help the park at this sort of crucial time in its history. Thank you again for your faith in me, and I look forward to working with you over the coming months as we go forward. So I think that's all I need to say.
Thank you, Liz. Congratulations. We now move on to agenda item 4, apologies for absence. We've received 3 apologies. Craig Stevens. Oh, cheers. These folders received. Yes, that's right. I have to clear one in the So 2 apologies. Correspondence, agenda item 5. There's none received. Anything received?
No.
Okay, thank you. Declarations of interest, agenda item 6. There is none received. Members, I don't think there is. As per standing orders, if going through the agenda, you do notify or identify something that you have got a declaration of interest, please identify that point. Okay, thank you. Public speaking, we received no requests. As always, as Alice rightly said, each meeting it is important that if any member of the public viewing this meeting views agenda, this is opportunity where they can address the committee, and I encourage members of the public to use that opportunity. Can you just go through the protocol of how soon they have to notify if they wish to speak in front of the committee? 4 days?
Yeah, 4 days notice. Our public speaking scheme is on our website.
Okay, thank you very much. So if anyone viewing
That
this,
sets up the process for any committee, including planning committee.
including public, thank you very much. So if any member of the public is viewing this meeting and do wish to address any of our committees, if they'd like to go to the website, that will obviously guide them on how they can feed into these committees in the public session. Thank you very much. Appointment of members of planning committee. There are 3 parts within this. There is 1, the appointment of 12 members of the planning committee. After that, that has been noted, we'll then go into the election of chair and the election of deputy chair. So we will go first. If Gemma, can we take note of the members, please?
Yes, thank you, Chair. So through the self-nomination forms, we've appointed the planning committee. Planning committee is made up of 8 local authority members and 4 from Welsh Government. So the names of the planning committee are Councillor Hugh Williams, Councillor Ed Jones, Councillor Peter Baldwin, Councillor Peter James, Councillor Edwin Roderick, Councillor Simon Howard, Councillor William Powell. The 8th local authority space will go to the Carmarthenshire appointee once you receive them toward the end of July. And the 4 Welsh Government spots would be to Professor John Hunt, Dr. Liz Bickerton, Mr. Julian Steadman, and Mr. Steve Rayner. David?
Thank you very much. You've had those names, members. Can we have a show of hands to accept those? Thank you. Those are accepted and appointed to the committee. We now move on to the second part of the appointment of the chair of the planning committee until the next annual general meeting. We've received 2 nominations, Steve Rayner and Councillor Edwin Broderick. Both candidates, as previously stated with the process, is invited to speak up to 3 minutes, and we'll do it on surname alphabetical order. So Steve is to go first. Before I go there, Steve, are you happy for your name to go forward?
I am.
Councillor Roderick, are you happy for your name to go forward?
Yes, I am.
Okay, thank you. Steve, you have 3 minutes.
Thank you, Chair, and morning, members. Firstly, I want to just pay tribute to Julian Steadman, who's done a fantastic job as chair for the last 7 years. Really going to be a really hard act to follow, and I'd like to say thank you very much to Julian, firstly for encouraging me to step forward as deputy chair of planning last year, and for showing me the ropes over the last year. Thank you very much, Julian. I still feel like the new boy on the authority. I've only been here 18 months, but I hope that at least to some degree my record over the last 18 months speaks for itself. You've all seen me in action at NPA. I try to take the role very seriously, take pride in my professional approach to what I do here, which really comes from a past life, I guess a former life, when I spent 20 years as an engineer in the civil service for the MOD, before seeing the wisdom of moving out of that and becoming an outdoor instructor, having been a management consultant for a little while. So I've got a very wide range of experience that I bring to this role. And those of you on planning committee have seen me playing an active role there, and recently deputising for Julian. And I hope you agree that I'll be a safe pair of hands as the chair of the planning committee. So I'm not a planner, but I have learned a lot over the last 18 months. We have a critical function in the planning committee in terms of delivering our statutory purpose and duty. And the development management role, where we make decisions on planning applications, is arguably the strongest lever we have within the authority to make a real impact on the ground. So it's a key role for the planning committee, supported of course by our excellent staff team, and we need to keep doing what we're doing, even better if we can do it faster and with more resources. As a resident, a landowner, and someone who uses the park on a very regular basis, I've got a real interest in making sure we do this well. So my principal task as chair of the planning committee will be to ensure that we do just that. But I also want to see those members who have an interest in planning, which I guess is the planning committee, doing more than just making those development decisions. We are, as a park and as a country, at a critical moment. We're facing a climate emergency, a nature emergency, cost of living and housing crises. And yet at the same time, we've got huge ambitions and responsibilities for the well-being of future generations and of course our exciting management plan, Dyfodol of Anai. We've got also now opportunities through our new local development plan and the regional strategic development plans to put in place new policies and processes that will help us deliver that. And as the chair of planning, I'd expect to champion the role of planning within the authority as a key driver of that. As a senior civil servant, I was recognised for thinking strategically whilst also being able to work the detail. I think those attributes will serve me really well as chair of planning. So thank you.
Thank you much. We'll just reset the clock. You have 3 minutes.
Good morning, members. As you know, I'm a man of few words. So I would put my reason for putting my name forward for chair of planning to Banner Brycheiniog. I've been in council for 8 years and came in unopposed. Not able to come to council early in my life as my involvement in my business was too demanding of my time and I cannot commit to something I do not get involved. As soon as I was elected to council, I was immediately put to serve on the park by my fellow councillors and also members already serving on the park, and the then chief executive and chair requested as they knew of my involvements and activities within the park, of which I lived and worked all my life. As soon as elected to the park, I served on the planning committee, and after the first year, became vice chair under the most respected chair, Sir Julian Steadman, and vice chair until last year. This has given me an enormous amount of experience, and some of you would know I have chaired some of the planning meetings, some being quite tricky, or should I say, how to tread softly, but arrived at an outcome agreeable to all. I also sit in the Powys Planning Authority and have done for 3 years, which gives me a very wide range of experience. I have not made this decision lightly, as I feel it can be quite a burden to carry. As all of those of us on planning would know, we have tried to walk a line which is right for the authority, but also we hold the future of those that are applicants and that will be right and fitting for Banner Brycheiniog. I was one of those that were involved when the name was changed to Banner Brycheiniog and spoke often and length with Helen Lewco, discussing meanings, and I believe we chose wisely. After all, we are in Wales, and I, for one, am a proud Welshman and able to speak in my mother tongue. Commitment and attendance is something I have championed many times over the years, and I believe mine to be unquestionable. As for chairing skills, I believe I do have those, as during my life I've chaired numerous associations and committees, and also meetings where Welsh government ministers have been involved, and where also military has been involved. Therefore, I am content that I will be able to fill the post of chair of planning for Banner Brycheiniog. I am open for any questions, if you so me. Diolch yn fawr.
Thank you, Edwin. So, members, you've heard both candidates speak. What we will do now, we will go to the vote. Members who are joining the meeting virtually are asked to email in if you put subject heading chair of planning, and then it's vote for Steve or Edwin. And members within the room will receive a slip of paper. Members of the public viewing, there will be a little bit of a delay on this because obviously we've got to calculate the votes and get electronic votes in. So members, I propose we now go to the vote. We can start the papers, please. And members, if you're able electronically to Lynn.
Chairman, I've just sent mine through on text to Gemma.
Okay.
Has everybody had a chance to vote through?
I've not had a vote through, Gemma.
15 votes cast.
We're missing one, so. Oh yeah, Julian, yours is yet to come through.
Sorry, Gemma, nothing through yet.
Oh, if you just send it through to me, I haven't had yours.
Fine.
I think he was sending by text, wasn't he?
Was he waiting for an?
I think he waited for an email. In the beginning, he said he wouldn't send an
There you go, I
email,
sent it
didn't
to
he?
you. You can reply to that, Julian, okay?
Okay, 15 votes are cast. That's correct. Yeah. Steve Rayner received 9 votes. Edwin Roderick received 6 votes. So Steve is duly elected as chair. Thank you very much. Congratulations, Steve. We'll now move on to the election of deputy chair. We have 3 names. Steve, obviously you're unable to go forward, so your name is automatically withdrawn. And we have 2 names there, Julian and Hugh. Julian, you have your hand raised.
Yes, thank you, Chair. Couple of things. First of all, I think it's probably an appropriate moment to thank the members and the officers for their support over the last 7 years when I was being chair. it's a great pleasure to have been working with Gareth and Davina and co in delivering the planning service. We've been through quite difficult times. Obviously, the COVID years were quite a test for the authority, but I'm very pleased that I believe we got a stronger team now than perhaps we had even before we went into COVID. I had some very good news as well. I don't know whether the members are aware, but we won an RTPI award this week for the Prickhowell Place plan. And although that doesn't really come under the Chair of Planning's responsibilities, I'm very pleased that I'm going out of the chair on such a high note. And thanks to Chris Jones and to the Town Council and others who helped to put that place plan together, working with our staff. So that's absolutely great. And I am being very happy to be chair, but I'm very happy that we have another person who I have confidence in to take over as deputy chair. And on that basis, I'm very happy to withdraw my name from the list and to allow Hugh to be put forward as our deputy chair, because I have every confidence in his ability to do the job. And obviously, I wish Steve particularly well in taking on this quite challenging role sometimes, but a very fulfilling one. And as he says, I think it's a very important one for the authority as we move forward. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Julian. And on behalf of the committee, yes, rightly so. Thank you for your service to the chair of the authority over numerous years. Your input has been invaluable to the service of the authority and your guidance. And as with Julian, I'd like to see you here in presence in person and ex-MPA as a little gift that we'd like to obviously hand to you in a more formal setting. So thank you very much for your support. And I'm sure members will join me in thanking you for your dedication to the parks there on the planning committee. So moving to Hugh, as are you still happy for your name to go forward?
Yes, thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you very much. As 7.7 of standing orders, as the only name going forward at this point, it's a show of hands. Can I have a show of hands, please? Congratulations, Councillor Hugh, on electing as Vice Chair of the Planning Committee.
So, well, can I thank the members for their confidence in me there, Chair? And I just hope that I have experience within Powys County Council over 13 years in the planning. There's always something to learn in planning, but I'm happy to support the chair of the planning committee in the future and serving those who apply, because it's important for all the applicants to have a fair hearing, and I believe in that fair hearing. And sometimes you have to make decisions which are difficult, but as long as they're true and honest, I do believe that planning is the right place to be, and we can take that forward on behalf of the park, and I look forward to it. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Councillor John Hunt, you've raised your hand. You're on mute, John.
Thank you very much, Chair. I just wanted to say, as that's the end of the voting, I have to leave to an interview process, and I'm exiting. I just wanted to thank everybody who has been elected, and thank everybody and wish everybody well for the future, and thank Aled Adgoing for everything that he's done for the park. But I must leave now, but thank you all.
Thank you, John. Thank you for your attendance. Okay. And I just think on that point, as we have finished the nomination, I want to thank everyone who's put their names forward as well, because I think it's not an easy process putting your name forward and challenged. So as the only person that wasn't challenged, it sounds really odd, but actually challenge is healthy as an authority, and having that mix of people putting their names forward, it's not an easy process to put your name forward. But doing so raises the standard of all members. So I want to thank everyone, past and present, who's put their name forward for any kind of committee, because it is really, really important. So we'll now move on to point 9, which is the members' appointment to the Audit and Governance Risk Committee. The Chair and Deputy Chair of the Audit Risk will be appointed at the first meeting of the committee after the AGM. At an EGM, and the proposal will take place on the 11th of July. The Chair and Deputy Chair of the Authority and the Chair and Deputy Chair of Planning and the Chair and Deputy of Finance Performance Committee will not be eligible to serve on this committee.
Yes, correct.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, self-nominations forms, we obviously got out. If you'd like to run through the nominations we've had, please.
Yeah, so we have received, again, Audit and Risk Committee is made up of 4 local authority members and 2 Welsh Government members. I populated the committee membership from self-nomination forms. So, but we've received 3 local authority names, so I am looking for a 4th today. Currently, we have Councillor Liam Powells, Councillor Simon Howard, and Councillor William Powell as local authority members who put their name forward. Mr. Craig Stevenson, Professor John Hunt have then come forward as the Welsh Government members onto audit. So I do require a 4th local authority member. Gareth, you are removed as Chair of the Authority, and Hugh, you are now not able to sit on audit as Deputy Chair of Planning. So I open to members.
So members, we're looking for anyone to put their name forward at this point. No one's able to put their name forward at this point. I
I'll put my name forward, yeah.
Are you happy, Jeremy, to go
Yeah.
forward with that? Thank you, Jeremy. I know you're busy, Jeremy. If you can go in as a stopgap, and if it is busy, obviously we can have a conversation and bring it back to the agenda. So anyone on these committees with other work and council work and everything else, it does get this. So it's one of those, any committee member, I will say now, if you're finding you're struggling to attend committee meetings, we need to have those conversations and come back to committee. Okay, so thank you, Jeremy, for that. Okay. So that is.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay.
We're happy to show hands.
Okay, show hands for that.
Membership audit. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. We now move on to 10, which is appointment of members of Finance and Performance Committee. 3 local members appointed through self-nomination. Gemma, would you like to go through this?
Yeah, deal with David. So we've had 3 local authority appointed through forms, which is Councillor Scott Emmanuel, Councillor Jeremy Davis, and Councillor Gareth Ratcliffe. So again, we have a 4th vacancy there. For the Welsh Government appointees, Dr. Liz Bickerton has taken Chair of Finance through the role as Deputy Chair of the Authority. I've had 2 other Welsh Government names put forward, which were Canon Aled Edwards and Mr. Steve Rayner. We only have that 1 space then for Welsh Government appointees, so I hand to members too.
So if we go to standing orders, which was issued by the members, they need to sit on 1 MPA plus 1 other main committee. Ali, that means you're automatically the person that goes forward for that, I'm afraid, Steve.
I'm happy to withdraw from that.
As is our standing orders.
Thank you.
Okay.
So that's fine. So we have Welsh Government appointees, Dr. Elizabeth Bickerton and Canon Aled Edwards. I then have 1 local authority space on Finance Committee. If anybody would like to come forward, or maybe it's the possibility for the 18th Carmarthen space.
Shouldn't we wait, Chair, until we have
Yeah, I'm happy to take that, Edward. I think that's a sensible proposal.
Yeah.
We will put that and I'll hold that back. What I will say, with all committees, members who are not on those committees are able to go on along and observe.
Yeah.
So, you know, there is input around that. So you can put written comments in prior to the meeting, but you can observe those meetings. So if there is any committee that you're not on, but you're actually interested to see how it runs, you can do this. So any member who's not on finance who is able to apply for finance, if you are interested, I encourage you to come and observe the first meeting to see how it works and how it operates. And if it tickles your fancy, you can put your name forward in the next MPA meeting.
Okay, so just to confirm then, the members of Finance and Performance Committee are Councillor Scott Emmanuel, Councillor Jeremy Davis, Councillor Gareth Ratcliffe, Dr. Liz Bickerton as Chair, and Canon Aled Edwards. Deputy Chair will then be decided at the first meeting following the AGM.
Thank you very much for that clarification, Gemma. Okay, members, show of hands, quick process for this one, yeah?
Yeah, and then we will, once you get the Carmarthen appointed on board, we'll readdress it.
So that's 5 appointed with 1 space for local government. Okay, moving on to appointment of Chair Committee. So those to be noted, the appointment is Chair of the Authority, Deputy Chair of the Authority, Chair of Audit Risk, which will be elected at the first meeting, Chair of Finance, who's automatically appointed, Deputy Chair of the Authority, and Chair of Planning. Members, are you content? Okay, show of hands, please, just for noting. Thank you. Agenda item 12, to note the appointment of 3 members to the Standards Committee. We received 4 self-nomination forms. And they are Councillor Jeremy, Councillor Peter James, Mr. Julian Steadman, and Craig Stevenson. So, members, before the stood for, is anyone looking to withdraw their name, or otherwise we'll...
Yeah, I'm happy to withdraw from us.
Yep, Jeremy, okay, thank you. So Jeremy withdraws from that. Thank you, Jeremy. Obviously, you've taken on that other committee, so appreciate that. Thank you very much. So we have 3 names: Councillor Peter James, Mr. Julian Steadman, and Mr. Craig Stevenson. Can I have a show of hands for the appointed, please? Thank you very much. Congratulations on your appointments there. Right, now we then move on to appointment of outside bodies. Gemma, over to you for this one.
Yeah, David. So the authority appoints the outside bodies every year. I have spoken with members in the last few weeks, and we have rolled over last year's appointments. So the Alliance of Welsh National Parks, that automatically comes from the role of chair. National Parks UK is automatically the chair of the authority and the deputy to substitute, along with National Parks Wales at the same setup. The Welsh Local Government Association goes to the local authority member who is appointed to chair or deputy, so that will fall with Councillor Gareth Ratcliffe. Biodiversity Information Centre is Professor John Hunt, and he's happy to stay on. I've spoken to him. Brecknock Access Group is Professor John Hunt and Councillor Edwin Roderick. You happy to stay on, Edwin? Yeah, again for 2. Fine. And Glenavon World Heritage Site Partnership Board, again, Professor John Hunt is happy to stay on there. That's the outside bodies. Thank you.
Thank you very much. No, there is a number of outside bodies that have been raised previously, so if members will take that out of this meeting, and I'm happy to have a conversation, because I know there are other groups that we can bring back to the NPA at a future date. This will be the protocol. Okay, brilliant. Okay, we now move on to agenda item 4, appointment of members to the corporate joint committees. Gemma, again, now you're juggling a round of appointments and who's been put on what?
Let's try my best. So, appointment for CJCs. The 3 main CJCs, Mid Wales, South West Wales and South East Wales, can only be filled with the roles of Chair of the Authority, Deputy Chair of the Authority, Chair of Planning Committee. One can take all 3, you can all have 1 each. So my understanding is Mid Wales is Gareth, Chair of the Authority. Mid Wales is your, yeah, that works for you. So then we have Chair of Planning Committee and Deputy Chair of the Authority, Liz.
Yeah.
We've got South West Wales CJC and South East Wales CJC.
Yeah.
Do you want?
I'm relaxed. I mean, I've only sat on subcommittees of the CJC, so I'm not quite sure whether South East perhaps is more planning, perhaps, or I really am relaxed about it. So,
Steve, would you like to come in on this?
I guess I mean, as I've been sitting on the SDP group for South East,
yeah,
sensible continuity for me to stay there.
Yeah, it's fine. And I've been on the subgroups of the South West, so that makes sense.
So just to clarify on that point, Mid Wales CJC will sit with Councillor Gareth Ratcliffe, Chair of the Authority. South West Wales CJC will sit with Deputy Chair of the Authority, and South East Wales CJC will sit with the Chair of Planning, Mr. Steve Redmond.
Yeah.
Okay. Those are the official appointments. We then have a number of subcommittees that sit under the CJCs. We do have delegated authority to appoint to these outside committees. It doesn't have to be to authority, but I thought it's worth addressing because we may fill some spots. So the Mid Wales Strategic Development Plan subgroup, that automatically is filled with the Mid Wales CJC rep, so that's fine. The South West Wales Strategic Development Plan subgroup automatically goes with South West Wales CJC representative, that's fine. The South East Wales Strategic Development Plan subgroup, I believe, Steve, we're going to look into this. I was informed that there was a caveat that couldn't sit with the CJ representative. So we suggested it sit with the Deputy Chair of Planning, but I'm happy to take that away, look into it, and we can appoint to that later.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to do that. The Mid Wales Governance and Audit Subcommittee. Last year was Councillor William Powell and Mr. Craig Stevenson. We suggested just rolling forward with continuity. I'm not sure, I don't think they have that very often. So are you happy with that, William?
Thank you, Gemma. Just to clarify, during the course of the year, this particular body had some difficulty in identifying a date and then subsequently in holding a successful meeting because of technical difficulties. When I eventually managed to attend such a meeting, it was clarified that I wasn't eligible and it needed to be an appointed member, appointed in the sense of Craig, and so Craig has taken that matter on. We between us we should have advised you of that. So I haven't been on it in the past year, but Craig has, and I'm sure he will have kept you or the relevant colleagues up to speed with any developments. But it was a somewhat sorry saga of getting underway. So just to clarify that point, and apologies if I personally should have alerted you to the fact that I was advised by the relevant legal officer that I wasn't eligible.
Thank you very much, William, for that. I think obviously there's a couple that come up here that we need to seek clarification on. So what I propose is we go through it and we just double check and clarify that the appointments are correct, and then if we need be, we can bring them back to the future SPA. Is everyone happy to move forward on that advisor? Yes. So and now we need, if you want to take those two. Oh, sorry, just before you do, Julian, you raised your hand and it's gone back down. Did you want to come in?
I just wanted to come in on South East Wales. I don't know whether we've come to that, but just to say there are, as you can see, 3 different opportunities on South East Wales. And having been on CJC for some time, I realise just how many meetings there are. So I'm just offering my services really for the next 9 months to say I'm happy to support both on the SDP and the transport, any gaps that there are or whatever, happy to sort of provide a bit of a help on that. I don't know whether it needs to be formally recognised. It's probably just an informal arrangement. Thanks.
Thank you, Julian. Yes, we'll see some clarification around appointments, and if we're able to appoint to some of these. So some of these we can appoint to, but obviously we may have to, and I believe on the delegated decision, the chair in consultation with the deputy chair can make the changes. So what we'll do is we'll appoint from the committee here now, and then if it comes back that those members aren't eligible due to the standing orders of the CJC, we will come back and appoint and notify the authority. Is everyone happy? Yes? Yeah. Okay, thank you. So Gemma, back to you again.
Thank you. The last 3 subcommittees are a little bit more
part of it now with regards best services to West Wales.
That makes sense. That does make sense. Yeah.
And then there's a South East Wales Transport Subcommittee. Does the buses of the South East take anyone to that? We can always watch that at a later date. Yes.
Okay. I'm happy to fill in on that, Gemma, for the time being. If anybody else during the next 9 months wants to get involved, then I'd be very happy to move over and let them do it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. So just for some final clarity before we move forward, we've addressed the main CJCs, we've addressed the strategic development plan groups, Mid Wales Governance and Audit Subcommittee, taking your notes on board, William, and I will clarify. We'll clarify on the South East Wales SDP. We will Economic Development and Energy to Canon Aled Edwards, South West Wales Transport to Councillor Edwin Roderick, South East Wales Transport to be covered by Mr Julian Stedman.
Okay, thank you very much. Members, just a show of hands to note those. Thank you very much. We now move on to agenda item 15, appointment of members to the Neutral Maritime Board. This is to appoint members following the Neutral Maritime Board until the next AGM. Gemma?
So we have a number of nutrient management boards to help ensure the ecological features of the River Wye, Towie and Usk are designated as special areas of conservation and looked after. So we have Usk Catchment Partnership. Got for Dr. Elizabeth Patella, who you on there last year.
Yes, definitely. Yes, definitely. Yeah.
The River Wye SAC Cabinet Commission.
I sit on all 3 of those because there is some consistency between them. So having that overview is quite useful, really.
And then you're also on the Wye Nutrient Management Board.
That's right, yeah.
And Edwin, you're on the Towie Nutrient Management Board.
Is there a situation or a place that I could also go on the Usk catchment? Is there
I think we can ask a
Yeah.
question.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the ISFA is interesting actually because it's a partnership. So it is. It's the Nutrient Management Board, and it's. I think we do need to have a discussion about our involvement in these. Well, the Nutrient Management Boards and how they're actually constructed, because it's all in flux at the moment. A bit. So
Are we able to appoint deputies?
we have done in the past. We have done, I think. Yeah. But,
So you're happy to go for us Captain Partnership, Dr. Liz Bickerton, deputised by Edwin?
yeah, and as I say, it's because it's a partnership rather than a. Yeah, it might be easier to do.
But then Edwin, you're happy to stay on the Towie, yeah?
Yeah. The reason I requested what the ask was, well, it goes through our ground.
Yes,
I know
of course,
you're passionate about it.
yeah.
Okay, is there any others of the appointed deputies? Is anyone else interested in deputising on any of those others? Or if not, if you'd like to come forward in future meetings to discuss that?
No, that's fine.
No. Okay, nothing, brilliant, thank you very much. Okay, we now move on to appointed members to working groups. Sorry, show of hands. Protocol, thank you very much, that's passed. Now we move on to, I'm getting ahead of myself.
Deal for David. So I went through the appointments to working groups. We have a number of working groups. I'll start with the Local Access Forum Selection Panel. This is pulled together when the Local Access Forum need to renew membership. This is prescribed by role. So the four that sit on this panel: the chair of the authority, the deputy chair of the authority, the chair of planning committee, and the deputy chair of planning committee. So just happy to confirm those four roles sit on there.
Everyone happy?
Thank you. Yeah, we'll address one at a time. That's probably easier.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
The Sustainable Development Fund Working Group, you'll remember last year that came back to a working group rather than its own committee. I rolled membership forward, but members are welcome to stand down or join. So the membership is Councillor Peter Baldwin, who I spoke to in the week, and he's happy to stay on. Councillor Jeremy Davis, Professor John Hunt, who I've also spoke with, is happy to stay. Councillor William Powell, Councillor Edwin Roderick, and Mr. Craig Stevenson. Everybody happy for the?
Everyone happy? Anyone wants to go forward? Obviously, yeah, no, everyone happy? Thank you.
The Accommodation Working Group. This is made of the Chairs Committee and a number of self-nominated members. So this is the Chair of the Authority, Deputy Chair of the Authority, Chair of Audit and Risk Committee, Chair of Finance and Performance Committee, and there's a number of extra members. So we have Councillor Peter Baldwin, Councillor Edwin Roderick, and Mr. Craig Stevenson.
Is there anyone else wishing to join that working group?
Yeah, obviously, because I come down now, Chair of Finance now.
Yeah.
Can I join it? Stay on the group?
Yeah.
So Accommodation Working Group, I'll add Councillor Jeremy Davis.
Okay.
Thank you, Jen.
Okay, thank you much. Show of hands, take those. Thank you. Again, as we do go through the year with some of these working groups where there is room for members to join, if you are interested, ask to come and observe, but also if you wish then to join the committee, please speak to myself or Liz and the Chief Executive, and I'm sure we can open those up where possible.
Yeah. So next is the Finance and Resources Working Group. Again, this is just made up of self-nominated members. So we currently have Dr. Liz Bickerton, Mr. Steve Rayner, Councillor Edwin Roderick. Councillor Hugh, I know you were on there previously. Did you want to stay on there or?
Sorry, no, I didn't put my name forward for the Finance and Performance Committee. What is this again?
This is the Finance and Resources Working Group, so it's separate than the.
It's open to all members.
Yeah,
it's
you can be on this working group without being on the committee.
Yeah, right. I'd rather be on the Finance and Performance Committee, having reflected on it.
Okay.
Because there is a member short, a local authority member short on that committee from what's been said, and I've listened carefully to what's been proposed and being careful of what I'm being volunteered for. So if it's still possible, I'd stay off that a minute, but ask whether on point 10 there's a local authority member short. Could I join that committee?
What we'll do is we'll finish this agenda item and then we'll go back to agenda item 10. If you'd like to just raise it at that point, yes. Otherwise we'll get confused where we are. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Thank you, that's right. We'll go back to agenda item 10.
William, your hands up.
Absolutely, thank you, Gemma. Diolch Cadeirydd. I would be interested in joining that that working group if that is possible.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I think that works well as well with you being on audit as well. It crosses over.
Well, I've got that background experience. Obviously, whether or not I continue is in the hands of others in that regard. But yes, thank you for that opportunity.
There we are. So finance and resources.
Are we retaining enough positions now for whosoever come in from
We're
Carmarthen?
going to go back and discuss that now. We have appointed them to the Carmarthen members of the planning committee.
Yeah,
So they are on 2 committees.
Yeah.
But we'll go back to agenda item 10 and we'll discuss that at that point. That's why I parked it whilst we finish this off.
yeah, because finance and resources working, that was Carmarthen Chair on there before.
Yes, and as I said before, we can still appoint extra members throughout the year as well. So the new member who comes in from Carmarthen, we can obviously brief and we can talk to them and we can add them to the working groups. The working groups are restricted to numbers or to the ratio of 2 to 1 local government, Welsh government. So we can add them in.
Okay.
So just to confirm, finance and resources working group is Councillor William Powell, Dr. Liz Nickerton, Mr. Steve Rayner, and Councillor Evan Roderick.
Okay, show of hands to let those. Thank you.
The last working group, so the audit and risk working group. This membership is made up of self-nominated members from the audit and risk committee. We had 4 members. Hugh now stepping down from audit and risk committee. There's a vacancy on this. So we have Councillor William Powell, Mr. Craig Stevenson, Councillor Simon Howarth with 1 vacancy. Jeremy, you've taken that spot on audit committee.
Yeah,
You have to go into the working group, the one alongside it. So that completes all the working groups.
Okay, thank you. We'll now go back to agenda item 10, as it was raised by Councillor Hugh regarding the appointment to the Finance Committee. That is for the appointment. There was 1 space within there. Councillor Edwin does raise a valid point regarding keeping positions open in our appointments committee. If we keep this position open, at the moment, the Carmarthen's due to come in. They've got, we've assigned them to obviously the MPA and planning committee. We can appoint, and there'll still be enough space for the incoming member coming in. So it is up to this committee if Hugh showed an interest now, if we wish to appoint Hugh into finance committee. Hugh.
No, I'm sorry to cause some confusion, really. I should have been a little bit more forward, proactive when you put it up. I'm happy if that position is kept vacant, but should the Carmarthen perhaps member not want to take it up, I am more than willing to step in there. Can I put it like that?
Thank you very much, Hugh. I'm happy with that. So the members happy with that, yes, and that gives a bit of flexibility for the new member coming in to have that conversation. Yeah, okay. So we're back to where we were. So with a name in the wings. Brilliant. Thank you very much. So moving on, agenda item and back to the agenda 17. Just to note, members, the self-nomination forms, the items obviously not to be discussed, but obviously self-nomination forms are part of the agenda and they will be there. We now move on to the last item. Urgent business is none received. Going forward, I would like to ensure that standing order 10.3.2 is put forward, and I would encourage members, with the permission of the chair and relating to urgent business, a copy of any questions shall, if possible, be delivered to the chief executive no later than 12 noon on the day preceding the meeting. So if there is any questions, obviously you can notify me the day before. If there are things that come out through here, I'm happy when the meeting closes and we have a conversation when the meeting's closed, and we then agenda them for the next meeting if they're applicable. Because I think obviously we need just to be structured in that way to allow the authority to do that. And I know members do have questions, and rightly so. Obviously with the setup of the meeting members going forward, hopefully we can address some of those and bring them to officers and members. On that note, it is 10:57. I think that's one of the quickest AGMs we've ever had. I'd like to thank the members again who put themselves forward for nomination. I'd like to thank special thank officers, 3 here today, especially for their contribution towards this. Gemma putting the agenda together and running this. And again, my thanks to Aled as outgoing chair, and also to Julian as well as outgoing chair of planning. I look forward to working with all members going forward. So thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day and have a good weekend.